Good evening, dear Sangha, and thank you for joining us once again for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharma talk. Today is November 13th, 2023, and we are live at the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center here in central Minnesota, in Brainerd, Minnesota. And thank you for spending some of your precious time with us this wonderful evening. Tonight's topic, our Dharma talk, is on learning how to speak. It's an important quality for anyone, not just a Dharma practitioner or a mindfulness practitioner, but for any person who is really trying to uplift and unite and bring about a qualitative message to others. But before we begin our wonderful Dharma talk this evening, we'll begin with our guided meditation, which so happens to be aptly entitled Right Speech. So if you would, go ahead and get yourself into that comfortable position. Sitting down or perhaps lying down, whatever works best for you. Just allow your body to settle in and really connect with the surface that you're in contact with. You may close your eyes or keep them open slightly with a soft focus, looking downward a few feet in front of you if you choose. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Wonderful. And you're warmly invited to simply allow that half smile to rest on your face as well. Allow your spine to lift and your shoulders to soften. And soften your belly as you continue settling in. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. And let's meditate on right speech. Right speech is essential in maintaining virtue. And right speech allows for us to be the source of hope and refuge for others needing guidance. And there are 4 qualities to right speech. abstaining from lying, abstaining from divisive speech, abstaining from abusive speech, abstaining from idle chatter, breathe in, pause, and breathe out. Speak only the speech that neither torments self nor does harm to others. That speech is truly well spoken. Speak only endearing speech. Speech that is welcomed. Speech when it brings no evil to others is pleasant. These qualities are called right speech. It is through right speech that I am able to strengthen my virtue. It is through right speech that I am able to walk the path of liberation towards the cessation of suffering towards myself and others. Go ahead and begin to open your eyes slowly if you choose at this time, allowing yourself to reorientate to your surroundings. Wonderful. How we speak to others really is a reflection upon ourselves to some degree. When we are suffering, sometimes we may say things that are hurtful or harmful, even though we don't mean them. And that's not right speech. That's not skillful. Sometimes our right speech are a result of beliefs that have been passed on by perhaps a parent or a society onto us as a belief. And then those beliefs manifest or present themselves in our words. And it has become acceptable sometimes to simply speak what's on your mind. It seems like we can just blurt out whatever we want, and words are spoken that clearly have no benefit in promoting unity or compassion or well-being towards people. And anything may be said at times with minimal to no consequences. Or perhaps so it would seem that there aren't any consequences. People do get hurt, and often, as a result of our words, or perhaps others that we've heard. Perhaps they affect us in some negative way. And unskillful people are easily swayed into hurtful courses of action. So think about that. Unskillful, maybe you or someone you know could be hurting, could be suffering inside as a result of something, and perhaps someone says some words and may bring about that temporary feeling like, oh, this must be a good course of action, but truly it's harmful. And people that may be suffering greatly may have their suffering increased even more. So these are some of the consequences that we're bringing to light with hateful speech. Because being easily swayed into doing something could lead to maybe that briefest moment of satisfaction. But then large-scale, impactful consequences arise. And the individual speaking is undoubtedly perpetuating their own suffering as well. So think about this. If you're suffering, sometimes in order to make you yourself feel better, you inflict suffering on others. Maybe it makes you feel good about yourself, but that's not truly feeling good about yourself. And oftentimes those individual speakers, they will not find the peace and the balance that they are desperately seeking as a result of whatever those comments are, those words that they think will bring them peace or a result that is desirable or advantageous to them. It does not. It perpetuates suffering for both that person, that individual, and others. So right speech is very important. Our words are powerful, and we have to use them responsibly. So how may we, as loving and compassionate people, help nurture others when we speak? It's important, right? We want to help others as we relay our message to someone else. So one of the steps on the Noble Eightfold Path given to us by the Buddha is right speech. And right speech consists of the four following qualities which were touched upon in that guided meditation. Abstaining from lying, Right? We don't lie. Lying does not build trust. And that also includes omissions. If we're asked a question and we deliberately leave out a vital or otherwise important piece of information, that still is considered lying. So we are truthful. And we abstain from divisive speech. Dividing people, individuals and groups or societies, countries, does not help bring about the peace and the balance and the joyfulness that we are all seeking in life. Divisive speech serves no purpose other than to create and cause harm. And along with those, abstaining from abusive speech. We don't chastise or belittle someone else. We don't poke fun or tease other individuals in a cruel sense. Sometimes even a joking sense. We may present it in a joking manner, but it can be seriously, maybe even misinterpreted by the recipient. So we're not abusive towards our brethren, our brothers and sisters and wives and husbands, children, or even strangers. It's so important to remember. We don't abuse other people. Everyone is looking for peace and balance and joy in life. And that even holds true to perhaps they say something to you. It is important to recognize if somebody speaks to us rudely or abrasively or harshly, to recognize that they are suffering. And if we respond harshly, we are increasing their suffering as well as increasing our own. So we mindfully avoid abusive speech. And we abstain from idle chatter, idle gossip, that water cooler talk. Very often, those types of conversations, one, they lead to nowhere. Ossive gossip, right? Leads to nowhere. We don't know other people's situations or circumstances, so we may, or others may very well be misinterpreting some course of action. Calling out sick, for example, on a Monday. Maybe somebody thinks that somebody had a little too much weekend. Or maybe they have a child who is ill. So it's important to abstain from that idle water cooler chatter because, again, we don't know whether they're rumors or not, and even if they are true, that can be divisive speech. But is there a difference between speaking harshly and honest criticism? And the answer is yes. When, again, we speak harshly, the purpose is to hurt someone, right? To perhaps make us feel better. Critiquing or honest criticism has a different objective. We can speak lovingly and supportive and give an honest opinion about what a situation is or the quality of work without being hurtful. People want to improve. And again, that is the point of, or one of the points for right speech, to help people improve, to unite, to be supportive instead of being divisive or hurtful. So honest criticism or critiquing someone's work or behaviors or some other quality about them can be done in a loving, caring manner. So it's important to develop the skill for speaking correctly. Our words not only have the ability to influence others, but certainly influences our way of thinking as well about about a person or a group of people or even circumstances. So it's important to lift that veil of prejudice or ideas or notions or concepts about someone else, because right speech is often the result of right thinking. Wrong speech is often the result of wrong thinking, right? And so when we have right speech, again, that is a direct result of right thinking, right perception, right perception. And so we can view people or groups or circumstances wholesomely as they are and not by our own prejudices. So right speech is important quality of right thought, right thinking, right perception as well. So we know that if we are speaking harshly or divisively, we are not having a right speech moment, nor did we have a right perception or a right thinking, or certainly a right mindfulness moment as well. Conversely, when we do speak in a positive, uplifting, unifying, qualitative, or high quality, skillful manner, we have spoken skillfully and with right speech. So let us know what you think about this evening's guided meditation and Dharma talk. Please let us know in those comments below. It's how we are able to improve ourselves as well. Right speech. Some of our upcoming events. Again, our next Dharma talk will be at 6 p.m. on the 27th. We also have our Dharma Institute is now officially open. You can get a certificate in Buddhist and mindfulness studies as well as any number of our other courses. So go ahead and take a look and see what interests you. We'd love to see you at one of our courses, and they are all asynchronous, so you can take them at your own pace. And there's always free meetings too, right? If you have any questions about any of your assignments or something that maybe is not quite clear to you in your studies, let us know. We're always happy to help out, and it's part of the educational process as well. Our weekly Sangha meetings, again, those are free for our healing Sanghas, our veteran Sanghas, new beginnings, our rainbow Sangha are welcoming in our teen Sangha as well. And with that, we will close out our evening together with our 3 jewels. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. And I take refuge in the Sangha. Thank you for coming, and we will see you all again for our next live stream on the 27th. Take care, dear friends.